The Canon EOS RP. It's a camera people love and a camera people love to hate. But this 2020 holiday season, it's a hot sale item, coming in at just under $1,000, including an RF lens. So now that this camera is a little more affordable, I figured we'd go through 10 things you need to know before you buy this camera, especially if you're thinking about using it for video. And I'm going to break up the 10 things like this. 5 likes and 5 dislikes about the Canon EOS RP, and we'll get started right now. So let's start with the good stuff first. Number 1, the build quality and the fact that this is full frame. The EOS RP feels small yet tough. It is a hard plastic, and incredibly, Canon was able to fit a full frame sensor in this lightweight mirrorless camera. That means it's great for more depth of field and should perform better in low light. Number 2, the touchscreen. The RP has a fully articulating touchscreen display, making it easy to manipulate controls and good for selfie or vlog recording. And I will say this display is super nice and super responsive. Number 3, and a personal favorite, the autofocus. Canon's dual pixel autofocus with face and eye tracking is incredible. You get that mighty power in this camera. The autofocus is sticky and fast, and with it on, you have the confidence of knowing your subject will always be in focus. Okay, number 4, a headphone and microphone jack. Really glad to see both of these on this camera. Now with these jacks, you can not only plug in a microphone for better audio, but you can also plug in a pair of headphones to monitor that audio, which is essential for shooting video. And lastly, I really like the fact we get 24 frames per second and 60 frames per second in full HD. I would have loved to see maybe 120 frames per second since this is a fairly newer camera, but having those two options are stellar, and honestly without either or, I would have skipped on this camera altogether. So those are the 5 likes. Now let's talk about the 5 dislikes that I have against the EOS RP. Number 1, the size. Now, although I think the RP is built fairly well, it's super small, so when you grip it, you likely have your pinky swaying in the wind. They sell extensions, but the grip overall feels shallow and short. Number 2, this bad battery. The EOS RP uses Canon's smaller LP battery, which doesn't last very long in my opinion, so there's no way you can go a whole day of shooting on just one battery, especially if you're shooting video. Now if you're shooting stills, you'll likely be able to scrape by, but I would buy batteries just in case. And number 3, speaking on video, there's no pro color profiles on the RP. That means you're stuck with Canon's regular old profiles or some user presets, but you won't get C-Log here. I'm so sorry, graders. Number 4, there's a record limit. For some reason, the EOS RP has a 30-minute record limit, which is a bummer because this would be a great camera for weddings, but not if you have to stress out on how much time you have left before you have to hit record again because time is running out. I'm not sure why they did this, but 30 minutes is a big letdown. And number 5, the 4K crop. So this is what the image looks like when you're shooting in full HD, and this is the image in 4K. Yeah, that's a big ol' crop. The Canon EOS RP suffers from a massive 1.76 times crop in 4K, and you lose the camera's autofocus. So the RP is really not going to be your favorite 4K shooter at all. So what are my overall thoughts on the EOS RP? Well, there's some good, and as you heard, there's some bad. I really like the fact that this is a great full-frame mirrorless camera, and you get the RF mount, so you can be introduced to the new RF lenses. Also, the Wi-Fi capabilities and the fact that it's just so new and nimble really makes it a great camera, but there's a lot of things wrong with it. I really don't like the 4K crop. I really don't like there's no color profiles. I'm not a big fan of that battery, and also the bit rates on this is not completely amazing. But you do get Canon's color science, which is really nice, but I really would like to have seen C-Log on this so I can grade it just a bit in post-production. But this camera, I think, is a great value to those who are just getting into mirrorless shooting and want a full-frame camera from Canon. So you can go shoot some photography, which I think this will be great at, or you could do some minor video. But if you're just starting out and you just want to make good content, or you just want to make content with higher quality, then the EOS RP is definitely for you. So let me know what you think. Do you have more likes or dislikes that I didn't mention? I try to keep it to 10, but I'm sure there's a countless list out there. Let me know in the comments below. Now, if you like this video, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and also hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any of my videos. I try to publish one at least once a week. I am Ken, the content coach. Now go out and make something.